Want to edit your pictures professionally with easy-to-use tools at a low cost? I'm Christian Mendez, and this is a how-to guide for Airbrush. Airbrush is a popular photo editing app that provides user-friendly tools, including blemish removal, teeth whitening, skin smoothing, filters, and effects. Airbrush also has AI-driven features like eraser, stamp, blur, AI replace, and bokeh. Airbrush is a popular app for users looking to edit their photos before sharing them on social media. Users have access to a wide range of editing options, from adjusting facial features to enhancing the overall image. The app is created to be used by everyone interested in editing their images. With the rise of photo editing and AI, it is nice to stay up to date with what is going on and how to do it. As a photographer, I understand the struggle of learning how to edit photos. Photoshop is not accessible to everyone who wants to edit their pictures professionally, and there are so many other apps on the market. Airbrush is an app I suggest because it has several tools, is super accessible, and overall easy to use at a low yearly price. Getting started on Airbrush is simple because the tools are straightforward as well as useful for other purposes. To make an effective guide, user research and testing were conducted. I started by doing research and using the information on Airbrush to create a simple draft guide. I had my niece test out the app by editing a picture using the first draft. A second draft was generated and two of my friends tested it out. I gained insight into what was needed to be fixed to smooth the process. Initially, a PDF step-by-step how-to guide was going to be used, but after getting feedback from my peers and my professor, the best program to carry out this project was Adobe XD. I created a test prototype where the users follow the guide on editing a picture. The decision was made because it is easier and more interactive to have users follow a prototype of the app rather than just follow a flat guiding process. Using Adobe XD for the how-to guide simplified the process for the user by having a step-by-step guide to interact with and follow. The concept of making sure each step was as simple as it could be was inspired by an article on Medium's site. Frame each step as simply as possible. If you consider adding information that's not necessary for the users to do or know at this point, leave it out. For example, thought bubbles with text that grow and shrink in size were used instead of having a longer description of what the function does. Users have first-hand access to seeing what each tool does by following the prototype. Sometimes words alone just won't get the job done. Visuals can aid in storytelling and may be necessary to help explain a complex topic in a show-and-tell sort of way. The concept of visual aids was applied throughout this whole project, which ensures more user engagement. To keep users engaged, I use the following visual aids like the picture of my friend, thought bubbles, fast motion editing, and funny videos skits. The conciseness of the color scheme and the visual aids made the overall look pleasing. Furthermore, I tend to stay longer to finish watching anything funny or comedic. There are some points in the how-to guide voiceover that made it seem excessive. A SpongeBob clip mocking this was added to the video because it is fun to poke at yourself. Another example that was added was a Schitt's Creek clip where Moira expresses how ecstatic she is after initiating the process of editing the picture using the how-to guide. This helps break the tension and does not make it just another educational video. Medium's article 20 Tips for Better Presentation Design says, a clearly defined presentation objective is the first step to a remarkable presentation. Changing up the order when editing the picture using the how-to guide ease the process for the users by going through a simplified order of editing. This editing process follows a smooth and effective style. The order process shows users how to use the app in the easiest way possible, limiting any major issues or confusion. Furthermore, this order shows a few tips and tricks for some tools that users might find useful. The tips and tricks added not only follow the original concept for the tool, but also other ways to use the tool. The whiten teeth tool can be used to whiten the eyes, and the skin tone color tool can be used to change the color of the iris. Photoshop offers several tools that are labeled broadly so users can use the tools however they want. The tools in Airbrush are labeled to what they are meant to be used for. This can confuse users and think it is only meant for one specific function, but it can be used for other things too. This shows users that these two tools are just a few of the others that can be used to edit non-traditionally. In conclusion, Airbrush is an easy-to-use app when it comes to editing pictures. At a low yearly price, users get to use similar tools like the ones Photoshop offers. Creating an effective how-to guide and video presentation showcases how multifaceted Airbrush is. The designs used for the how-to guide and video presentation come together to create a smooth and easy user experience when using the app Airbrush. The visual aids, taxonomy, defined presentation objective, and simplified context help bring the overall purpose of the many benefits Airbrush serves.